Hello, hello, everybody. What's going on? Hold on. Getting an echo here. Hope everybody's doing well. You know, I got to wait half a second just to verify sound, but I hope y'all are all doing great. Give me half a second. We're almost there. All right, sound is sounding great. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? I decided to use this cut here so you can see all the things that are going on over here. I hope y'all are doing great. Hey, guess what? I missed y'all. Last week we were out in California. We're back here. What's that noise? Oh, that's my PlayStation being super loud. Hold on. Sounds like a jet engine. Let's go ahead and put that to sleep over there. And Josh, this one is for you. We got a little secret. Coming tomorrow. Finally. Yay. I don't know when I'm going to have time to play it, but hey. I hope y'all are doing great. Thank y'all so much. If you didn't know, this is AJay the CEO. Thank you so much. We normally do this every Friday so we can answer some questions, try and help y'all out. I see a lot of comments so far. Thank you so much for the people who attended the worship summit. Thank you. We had one of our own, Monty, was on there as well. So he actually presented. Then I presented right behind him. So, hey, E-Missionaries rocking. That's how we do it. If you haven't, please go ahead and do the YouTube stuff. Hit that like, hit the subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell notification. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. Let me see. It's been a while because we had Mother's Day and then I was gone. But guess what? This week we have another roundtable that's coming up. Let me zoom out here. We got a roundtable this Sunday. We haven't had one in quite a while. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. It's going to probably be a lot of logistics because we are getting close, folks, to our E-Missionary Conference, our first one ever. I actually have a meeting with a company after this who is possibly going to host the event. So more details are coming. We're adding more information on the website. I know it's plain Jane, but we're building it out. We got a couple of headshots on there. We're going to start adding people's sessions. But make sure you got about, 10 days? After 10 days, the price goes from $49 to $75, and we are knocking it out, folks. Make sure you join the Facebook group. It's right here. It's like this every single day with media ministries all over the world coming together to help share the knowledge between each other. That's what it's all about. We complement. We don't compete. That's what we do, folks. What else? If I do not get to your question, always know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com, and I will do my best to get back to you. As you can see, we are rolling. I got, I don't even want to cut over to see. I got a bunch of stuff. I got 6 PTZ cameras over here to my right that we're going to be installing a full network. We got about 2 65-inch 4K TVs, 2 75-inch 4K TVs, mounts, cables. We're doing a whole AV install for a church coming up. I'm not going to be able to get to it until I get back because next Wednesday we are heading back out to California to install all the stuff that I did a walkthrough with y'all when I was in my hotel room from out in California. So we're going to be doing that. What else? We got a lot of stuff. But anyway, enough of me blabbing. I haven't had a chance to answer any of y'all's questions. So let's go ahead and jump over to that. Shout out everybody on here. T-Pocket, hello. Josh, hello. J-Bird, hello. Carriers of the Covenant Ministries, hello. Sandra Wilson, hello. Armand, hello. From South Africa, hey, what's up? Mr. Francisco, Daniel, Streets of Destiny, Creative for Fun, G. Albert, Brian Jones, Orain Mattis, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, hello. Dylan, what's up? Anthony, what is going on? David, hey, good morning. Nathan, hello. Parker, hello. Judah Christian Church, Inc., hello. Mike, what up? Adam, Kieran, hello. And Mike Jones, hello. All right, so let me roll back so we can start looking at our questions here. I was on Twitch while I was doing this today, but it looked like Comcast was not enjoying me trying to do both at the same time. T-Pocket had the first question, wanted to know what was the name of the song that I did in the second to last video. Let me know what video exactly it is, and I will pull it up. Okay, wait a minute. You said from California. Okay. Yeah, I need to make a note for me to look that up and send it to you. Actually, let me see it. Can I open up DaVinci Resolve and it doesn't bomb out on me while I'm doing this? While I'm doing that, let's see. G. Albert says he's trying out Touch Portal, nice alternative to the Stream Deck. With that, can be expanded to other applications. Still in early stages of testing. Just sharing. Awesome, thank you, sir. I'm actually was looking at getting one of those too, but I kind of held off. But it looks cool. Looks really cool. And I updated to the most recent version of DaVinci Resolve, and it's bombing out on me. So I don't think I'm going to be able to check it out right now. But let me make a note here. That was T-Pocket. Name of song in California video. All right. Live stream notes. All right, so we'll follow up to that, and let me resize this so I can get it up out the way. And I'm not happy with how this most recent updated DaVinci Resolve has been acting. Give me a second to kill the process. I am looking at bumping up my memory to 64 gigabytes. Hopefully that will help a little bit better. Let's see. Streets of Destiny. I'm using the VB audio cable in OBS. Now VB cable is not working. No updates or changes in OBS or VB cable on the Mac. How do I reinstall VB cable to test again? I need to finish rebuilding my my Hackintosh so I can answer some of these questions better. What I recall, you would go, I forgot the name of the page that you would go to, but you just literally just drag the program out, and that's uninstalling it, and then you drag it back in to reinstall. I'm sorry for being cryptic. I just don't have it right in front of me, and it's been very few times that I've had to do that. But I need to get a new graphics card and some memory so I can get my Hackintosh back up, and we'll see. I'm messing with Daniel Hood. Daniel was saying, love for me to be in Chicago. Hey, I'd love to be there too. I'm balancing my schedule with my daughter and other responsibilities here. I'd love to get out there and visit. We actually had somebody asking me to come out to El Salvador or something like that, and I am more than open. Right now, we are projected at going to London here pretty soon to help out a couple of ministries. I'm waiting for the details about that, but I'm excited about that. I've never been across the water. I've been on the water to the Atlantic, to a bunch of islands down there when I used to cruise a lot, but I've been to Canada. I've never been across the Pacific, never been across the Atlantic. So I'd love to visit some of y'all e-missionaries over there in the UK and other areas, or in Asia and all that other fun stuff, Africa, all that. So let me know, and we'll see what we can do. Nathan here. How does your church decide how much to charge for tech services? For example, someone wants to live stream their wedding and you need some techies to support. Well, for us, this was actually established well before I was anybody associated with the media. So the church had it set up to where if you are a member at our church, it doesn't cost anything for renting the building. But if you need sound, I think it's like $75. So I just rolled that same thing into it. But honestly, I think I need to revisit if we need to change the price of anything. But I mean, if we need to live stream anything because the church covers everything, I would think we're just paying for the personnel for that 2 hours and it's like $75. Or I can see it possibly going to $150 because sometimes I'm running the media and that's $75, but then as a church-sponsored musician, if they don't have anything, I think for the event, I think it's like $150, as long as it's less than 2 hours or something like that. It was already determined, but I would honestly say, and this is business related, so this is what I'm learning myself from being self-employed for 3 years and never having any form of W-2 income for 3 years. What I heard a long time ago, and this sounds crazy, it sounded crazy to me too, from a business owner standpoint, if you're not making $2,000 an hour, hire somebody else to do it. Now that sounds crazy, but as the business owner, you can actually do so much more than a task. It's easier to hire somebody to do that, and that's what I'm actually looking at doing as well too. An assistant, looking at hiring somebody to do my videos because it takes a long time for me to edit and then jump around. Anyway, I say all that to say that you need to assess what is your time worth. Is it worth putting your time into, like for me, it's in organizing my business and talking to more clients. That's more important than me actually doing the installs now. So I have to leverage my time like that. So that's how I gauge in pricing. So I say the same thing when it comes to your church. How detailed, how intense is it for you to run the live stream and everything like that? If it's really just you being a set of eyeballs just in case something doesn't catch on fire, for me, that I would probably say for an hour of my time for that, it would be like $75. If it's something intense, you would have to gauge it like that. So maybe that's a little bit more than what you're asked, but that's what my thoughts are on that. Let's see what page we on. We're on page number 1. Josh was saying, was I expecting a specific response? No, I was not. I was just sharing with you. I finally decided to hunker down and get one and hunt one down. So, Daniel also would like to know, do I have macros for sale? No, I do not. I've been thinking about doing that. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and do some stuff like that. Adam, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Glad to be back. Yeah, for me, Creative for Fun, yes, for me is awesome. The group together, it is great. That's what it's all about. It's not about just one person. It's about us coming together. That's what I like about it. Daniel wants to know, for the conference, does him and his wife need separate registrations? Only if y'all are attending, and I don't want to take this, again, I'm not trying to nickel and dime anybody in this conference. Especially after I need to find out what this is going to cost for the event, the software to run this. We want this to be self-sustaining. This isn't about lining people's pockets or nothing like that. With that being said, if y'all are attending the exact same classes, no, one ticket will get you through because, you're at home. I can't stop 50 people from being on a computer screen. But you're only going to be able to attend one session at a time. But again, that may change because I don't know the sponsoring company that I'm going to be meeting with, I don't know how their stuff is going to work. It could be that each person needs to be a ticket, so please stand by for more information when I get that. Kieran has a half a question. It just says best OBS settings for what? I need some more info about that. Josh, any camera suggestions for a crane camera? Temporarily used a G4 for a while. Well, it depends. Do you need to be able to control the camera as well as in the iris, zoom, and all this other stuff? Need some details about that one. Albert here, and hold on, I need to turn my fan on. All these lights are starting to get a little bit warm. Has anyone used AWS RTMP yet? I would assume that's Amazon services. I'm looking to test a private streaming environment before we go live from church in July. I mean, I've seen a couple of people on YouTube use it. I tested it a long time ago when I used to use a unified controller set up in the AWS environment, but it's been a while since I've done that. Mike Jones, how do I improve the picture quality for a PTZ 140 PTC 140 PTZ in OBS? That's kind of hard for me to say because I don't know that camera specifically. Look it up and see. I honestly haven't even heard of it. Okay, PTC 140. Oh, by Data Video Technologies. How did it improve the picture quality? I don't know. Let me see. What screen can I share so y'all can see what I'm doing? That's number 3. All right, so this is the camera that Mike is talking about. Let me get the comments out of here. I don't know. I would think. See, I'm one of the people that is like, I don't want to do adjustments in OBS because if the camera can do it, why not do all the adjustments in the camera so that way it's just sending the best image there? I would assume based off of all the talking and information that they have on here, it should be some type of white balance or picture quality. Can you send me email me at questions@ajhomes.com and send me a reference of what your video is like so I can see, get a better idea of that. Jay Santiago, yeah, there are a bunch of people in the group that actually use OBS Ninja. I have not. I think Streets of Destiny has. The Chuck Taylor has. I think Otis from Texas has done that as well. Me personally, I have not. All right. Joseph, hello. Judah saying, we learned DaVinci Resolve from you. Well, thank you. I'm glad it helped. I don't know what's going on with 17.2. I might have to uninstall that and go back to 17.1 because I can't. I was just using it right before I started because I'm editing this AVCAN's PTZ camera, the auto tracking. Really cool. Very, very, very cool camera. I need to find a place. Don't take this the wrong way. I need to find a place to install it because that was kind of the agreement that I had with the company. When they sent me this camera, I'm doing a review video and then we're going to be installing it and we want to see how it performs. I got a couple of churches in mind for this. And Mike, if you're there, we've actually already started the Bless This House. Most people would know about that. We're going to be starting with some stuff like that. So I think the first recipient of this PTZ might be the first Bless This House episode. Not as big as it wants to, but you have to write the vision, make it plain. So that way we got somewhere to go. Got a couple of people here. Daniel says that he actually loves the touch portal and he's using it for OBS and the ATEM Mini Pro. So there you go. Unmentioned Tech wants to know, do you Photoshop any of your work? Yes, Photoshop is what I normally do to do all my graphics as well. Mike wants to know, am I going to be on the Worship Summit Live Networking Meetup Zoom? I didn't get a link to it. I asked about it yesterday, and I did not see an update, and I'm looking here, and I still don't see one. So I would say no, I don't. I didn't get an invite to it, or they must have emailed it, because I know I brought it up and I did not see it. So no, I won't, unless somebody sends it to me. I will be on there. Love to network with some people anyway, so we can expand and maybe bring some other people on, because the Worship Summit was awesome. Again, I don't believe in competition. I think that the e-missionary conference that we're developing is a good supplement, that get something from the Worship Summit, get something from the e-missionary conference, and it's like, it's the grocery store. Ooh, excuse me. The grocery store mentality. You don't buy everything in the grocery store, but there's something there for everyone. Whether you go down aisle 1 or aisle 3, there's something there. And I think the fact that there are so many venues available to get information, I think is a good thing. See, I got my water today. Now, we got a couple of people, like Josh was saying, that he likes the touch portal, but he likes the Stream Deck because of the physical buttons. I have 3 Stream Decks here, the XL, the regular right in front of me, and I got the tiny mini in the other room. So yeah, I like those. And I think the only reason is those came out first, and I really need to get my hands on Touch Portal. So Touch Portal, if you're listening, I'd love to test out one of them if you would send them to me. Thank you. Creative for fun. Got the 2 TVs working in the church using the RI 1x4. I need one more downstairs. I might have to have you come near Philly, PA to help a sister out. Hey, actually, my aunt and my godmother actually used to live in Philadelphia, and I used to come up there all the time. Now, one thing, let me jump over here real quick. We got, I don't know if this is the same one that you have, but Ori sent me this. This is a 4x4 HDMI matrix up to 230 feet. They want me to do a review on it, and they're sponsoring the install with this for the video distribution for Community Independent. So be on the lookout for that. Is that the same one, Creative for Fun, that you use? If not, let me know. Daniel, wow, that's a good note. If you, the owner, are not making it to an hour, hire someone else to do it for you. I mean, it is, because it's like, this journey of, and I try to not do, like, I've already hit a certain amount of point, and there's a typical YouTube video that a bunch of people make is, how much do I make at this level and at this? And I was hesitant about doing something like that because I don't want to put that information out there like that, and then also let people know that I'm not doing this for the money, but thankfully at this point the money sustains what I'm doing, so I don't have to go and work a secondary job anymore, which I am more than happy to do. But balancing the transition from an employee mindset to self-employed mindset to business owner mindset is something that I'm constantly still learning. Like right now, like I'll put this out here. If it was anybody close to where I'm at, I'm actually, and it's a derogatory term if you know where it actually comes from, like I'm looking for a mule, meaning that instead of me taking 2 hours to drive up to Fredericksburg to Micro Center to get up all the parts, that's 4 hours round trip of my time that I could use as something else. So for me, from a business owner standpoint, it's like, instead of me taking my time 4 hours that I can generate more business, I can pay somebody $100 to take That's $25 an hour to drive up to Northern Virginia, pick up all the computer equipment from the store and drive back and drop it off. That's a good investment of my time. So it's learning balances like that. And it's just delegating stuff. Like I'm bringing on other people, especially with this conference. Thankfully, this conference has actually educated me on, I'm used to having to do everything myself, but thankfully we have so many great people like Mark, Jaleel, and Josh who volunteered to do the graphics that I have to learn to let go and let other people do it. And that's just one of those, I mean, this isn't media ministry related, but this is just one of those things that I had to learn. And actually it is media ministry related. Some of y'all are running your media ministry by yourselves. And when you start getting people there, you need to let people run it their way. As long as it's being done properly and they're not, you know, the quality is not being lowered than what you're doing, you need to allow people to have their own freedom and their own creativity in how they do it. And are you more concerned of it being your way by yourself doing all the work, or you have a bunch of people who are now a team and they might not do it your way, but it's being done? I have to learn that balance from a business standpoint and continually learn that in media ministry. So that's some team development for you. Let me move out the way here so you can see the comments. Gina, thank you so much. I am glad whatever I'm saying is helping. Let's see, next comment. AJ, do you do consultations? If you do, where can I make an appointment and if I have to pay? Well, if you want that's a button that I don't have up on here. I need to do that. If you want a consultation with me, you can go to ajhomes.com/consultations, and that's where you can set up an appointment with me. But let it be known, just like I said, I got a lot of stuff going on for the rest of this month, pretty much. So if you wanted to do something with me, you can go here and set an appointment here for on-sites. If it's more than a 2-hour drive, we really got to set up something for that. But we have Patreon consultations. You get one for free if you are a $30 a month patron. Get that once an hour every month. That's for free. Or you can set up a Zoom or phone consultation. All that other cool stuff there on my website. And I will put that in the chat. Where's my stuff here? AJhomes.com/consultations. There you go. In the chat. All right. Okay. And Creative for Fun, we're saying 2 more TVs. Fullest Extent Media, what is going on? Thank you so much as well for the invite. Really appreciate it. Jack, you ain't got to say nothing but the word and set up an appointment, and we can haggle on plane tickets and stuff like that. I love to visit Scotland. I was debating when I was married, was thinking about going to Scotland for a honeymoon, wanting to do something different, but I would love to come there. Let's see. Thank y'all so much. Everybody saying it was good. Y'all missed me. I missed y'all too. Thank you so much. And the man of the hour, Mr. Chuck Taylor, what is going on? Hey, Chuck, I got something for you. If you want another one of those arms, let me know. I got access to another one, so let me know. Paul Peters, we got another one from South Africa. Hello, thank you for joining. Back to T Pocket here. I got the Lenovo IdeaPad 100. The startup and overall function of the laptop is not smooth. Excuse me. Do you think I should put another processor or invest in another computer, even though I really don't want to replace another part? It all depends. I'm not about spending money just about spending money, but if you are seeing the limitations of what you're doing, it's honestly a processor that can handle your stream is probably going to be easier for you to get than a GPU right now, unfortunately. I would say try that. But yeah, I mean, it's like this. All the stuff I got here is not just me buying it just because I reached a point where I know that I needed it. Just like I see in the comments, I'm looking at getting 64 gigs of memory because now with the editing, I know that I need it. If you're at that point, then I know you don't want to. I don't like to do that stuff either. But if it's about what you're using your system for, then let that be the determining factor, not just buying it just because. Paul, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Y'all really don't know how much this means. I'm glad Ben isn't here, so because I don't want him to mess with me talking about when I hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you look back at that video, yes, I was crying because it was an emotional thing. I had a lot of people told me that doing this YouTube thing was stupid. Not even a YouTube thing, just leaving my computer science degree, doing all that just to do this was silly. And hitting that number and even more has proven that to be, actually, let me just be honest. The fact that God told me to go in that direction and it's proven himself that he's not a man that he should lie. All of this is because of that. I don't hide the fact that I'm a Christian. I don't hide the fact that I actually tried to take his word to the level that some people don't, because it says you have not because you ask not. And I just sat back and said, God, if it's like, kind of like what Peter was saying, like, if that be you, Lord, and if you bid me to come onto the water, I will. So that was kind of like me. I was like, hey, God, if that's you telling me to go in this direction, if it is you, tell me it's you, and then I'm your boy, and let's roll. So I'm just thankful for all of this. I'm thankful for all of y'all. I mean, me sitting at a desk doing ETL development on the SQL database, I would have never met any of y'all. I never would have been able to interact with y'all, help your ministry in whatever way it possibly can. That means a lot. So thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. T Pocket wants to know, is there any way I know it's somebody out there. I have not tried to do that. I don't even think there is a build for OBS on Chromebook. I don't believe. Now I have seen people take the Chromebook and retrofit it and get Linux running on it. Then you can get OBS running on that. I think that would work. So, Dylan, if I'm looking to daisy chain 3 PTZ cameras to the Huddle Cam, how many RJ45 to Ethernet converters would I need? You need one for each camera. Like, I literally just ordered 5 because we have 5 cameras. So it's a 1-to-1 for those. Now for the 9-pin to RJ45, you only need one of those because that's going to start the chain from the remote, and then the the CV620 cable 6. That's the one I believe goes to each one of the cameras. You need 1-to-1 for each camera for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad to see a lot of y'all participating in that. That's what I'm saying. Don't just do the e-missionary stuff. It's about supporting everybody's stuff. That's how we work. Albert, today we're using StreamYard and Zoom, and then use Restream to access Facebook and phone stream. In July, we will transition to ATEM from church recommendation to test RTMP privately, not on Facebook. Honestly, just send it just to Restream and just don't use Restream's built-in browser just to test it out. And then you don't have to turn on the stream to go to anything. That's how you can verify it. You'll get audio, video, everything there. That's what I would think. Josh, I was actually thinking about that. I was waiting until the worship summit was over to send an invite to them. Because I know this is, at least from my part, this has been busy trying to organize this. So I have no idea what it's like for them. But yes, I definitely am thinking about inviting them. Let's see. Is there a way to control a Sony 640 zoom focus, etc., or should I continue with the camcorders looking at a Canon? Well, it all depends, because like right now, let me go to this camera. I'm using right here, this is the ZV-1, and I am using this Bluetooth remote to go with it, and that's how I can zoom in and out from here. But my Sony, I actually have a, and I think the equivalent, this one will work with the 640. And if they don't, they do have one that has a cable connection that will work as well too. That's what I normally have right here below me. And so I'm changing the camera right here. So yes, that should work. I don't remember the model right off the top of my head, but I did see it when I was looking at getting that arm. Let me switch back over to the camera because my screen is over here and it makes it easier for me to look in this direction. Dylan, I appreciate that. Now, one thing I will tell y'all, this, and I think I shared this with a bunch of y'all, this was my marketing to get kids involved in the media ministry. I didn't bash kids or anybody or ask for volunteers. And I jokingly say I caught myself on fire and invited everybody to watch. That's how I got more kids involved. So for me, I like to come from a standpoint, like it's humbling that my daughter's in first grade, and when she has a break, she watches me on YouTube, and I told her not to do that because she's not supposed to. But it's wild that it's like the transition of wanting to be a rapper, a music, a sports athlete and stuff. Now I think the number 3, 2, or 1 is like a YouTuber, and for my daughter to be like, oh, that's what my daddy is. I mean, that's humbling. So to see as an example the transition of tech in church as well as forms of income and sustainability, that has actually shown kids in my church, at least, that it's like, man, you can do media, but then you can actually make it a quote unquote career, or more importantly, you can make a business out of that to be sustained. That's what I did. So it's not about that I want to talk about how much money I make. It's the fact that I can make money that complements what I was doing at my job. So when I was employed. So that's another reason why I do it. But thanks. I really appreciate it. And this just jumped when I was trying to pick somebody else. Creative for fun. The 1x4 HDMI extender splitter 4K by Aura. Multiple over. Okay, so yours is a 1x4. I've installed that. This is a 4x4, so I can have 4 inputs and 4 outputs. Now, I have also looked at the 1x8 they make for that as well, too. But we got you straight. You just got to let me know. And Philadelphia is not that big of a trip. I visit my friend from college. She's in New Jersey, and she actually works in Philadelphia. So, I mean, I could take the train up there, and that would be more relaxing as well, too. So just let me know. T-Pocket, do you charge for a flight when traveling as well as the install of the equipment? Well, seeing how California was my very first time doing this, they actually paid for my transportation out. That was on their expense because they offered it. I was actually going to pay for my hotel, my rental car, and food, and they picked up the hotel, and I just paid for my rental and driving. And then, honestly, in full transparency, I charged them the exact same thing that I would if I was doing an on-site here locally. And I think that kind of messed them up because, like I said, I'm not about trying to just get rich off of this. It's about how many more ministries can we help share God's message online and through any type of media. That's what that is. So what's the scripture that says, let no man say that they were made rich by them. So I'm just doing what I feel God has told me to do, and he has sustained me. So I am very thankful for that. Hope that answers your question too, Josh. Also, have you tried PTZ Optics Pro AV Design Builder? Tried using it, but was a little bit messy and reset easily. No, I have not, Josh, but I would look into that. H. Bell here. My pastor wants to see his iPad on rear screen 400 feet, 400 feet, 80 feet away, Apple TV or SDI to HDMI. Our switcher is ATEM TV Studio Pro. Actually, I did the same thing at Good Shepherd. We actually did HDMI out from the iPad into a, I think that switcher has auto scaling. So yeah, I went from just HDMI to SDI and ran SDI back to, it could be a direct line, or we had it set up to where it can switch. So it's a different source. But if you were doing a direct line to the TV, I would just do HDMI, convert it over to SDI, run SDI, and then convert it back to HDMI to the back TV. That's what I would do. If it's a direct. If you want it to, if that TV is connected to your switcher as an aux out or something like that, then yeah, just convert it to SDI and plug it into the back of your switcher, and you should be good to go. Brian, speaking of the conference, is there anyone in the chat that started working on the video editing work willing to help? Hey, well, yeah, chat amongst them. The man of the hour, Mr. Mark Carter. Thank you, sir. You, Josh, and Jaleel, thank you so much, man. Excellent stuff. And I'm gonna bring it up because he was here. Let me show you this excellent stuff they got here. I think this is the right picture. This is the conference flyer that they made. Thank you so much. All this information. If you're on the Facebook group, you can get this. We're not doing advertising and ads and stuff like that. This is just media ministry sharing this information with other people. And the flyers on the Facebook group, I need to put it on my website as well. And I need to put it on the missionary conference website as well too. But thank you so much, sir. Great work there. Now let me bring back your comment. Oh, I didn't even read your comment, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Back to T Pocket here. I wish I could say came because I want and kind of need the help, but have no one to help me. Can't run sound and media and play instruments at the same time. I totally understand. I'm kind of in the same situation sometimes too. All right, sir. Well, I will let you know. I already got your information. I think I still got it. So be on the lookout. Josh is saying is starting to get interested in robotic arms. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all some ideas of something. Give me y'all's thoughts about this. I wanted to do a video, kind of like the future of church tech, something like that. Not like the tech that we're talking about here. I'm talking about like going out there. I mean, the fact that we are getting ready to send people back to the moon in 2024 and then possibly having a manned mission to Mars in 2030, I'm excited. So I'm going to put this question out here and then let me know if y'all would be interested, because I want to take like just nerd out and just talk about what the modern church could be in about 10 years. So I'm sitting here thinking, what's going to be the name of the first church that's being ran on Mars? I think that would be kind of cool. Y'all realize that if people were born on Mars, they might not be able to come back to Earth because of the gravity difference. I can nerd out all day long about that, but I'm thinking about doing an episode, just a separate step along video of like the fact that we're getting to the point where the church van is going to be autonomous and is electric and doesn't have a driver, and they can just go out and pick up other members to come to the church. Solar panels on the church's roof, so the church doesn't have to pay for any electric bill, and you don't have to worry about turning the air or the heat off because it can stay on the entire time. And satellite internet. I'm telling you, the tech is serious. And if churches take advantage of it, I mean, it could be so much for the community as well as the bottom line. I mean, also, you're talking about their 3D printing houses, and you can build a house that normally take 4 months and can be built in a week. Imagine 3D printing an entire church. That would be awesome. And at 1/4 the price. Oh, well. Back to Daniel was actually talking to somebody else in here. Okay, yeah, asking each other for that. Also, be careful on YouTube does this automatically. This is not me. If you put telephone numbers and email addresses, YouTube actually stops that. So be mindful of that. Josh was saying probably could have gotten 3090 if it wasn't for the shortage. Hey, Josh, I know somebody that works in NVIDIA. I'll leave that alone. Joseph, keep doing what you're doing. You're helping so many people by doing these videos. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. See, Josh is bringing it up. To be honest, you cried at 10,000. You got a jump scare at 20,000, and there was sadly no emotion for 30 to make sure they were. Yeah. Honestly, I'm looking at it right now. We are 600 people away from, we're 610 people away from 40,000 subscribers. Honored, thankful, blessed, everything like that. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Also, Francisco and his wife, Rosalind, they are actually heading up a intercessory team that's praying for the conference, because we all know that even though everything is all hunky-dory, there are things that might not like what we're doing. So they're heading up a prayer, I think on the 23rd. It's in the Facebook group. First off, I want to thank them for even bringing this up and organizing this, and they're handling that. So please keep the conference in prayer. Keep any of these ministry conferences, the worship summit, everything like that, that it will do what it needs to be done and is protected. And the people who are organizing and participating with it, everything that the angels of protection are kept around them and keep them safe from all hurt, harm, and danger. And just that we move forward, because this is big, what we're doing, folks. So I'm just happy to be a part of it, and I'm glad that y'all are coming along too and being a part of it as well. Back to Albert. Why did that shrink all of a sudden? Okay. I was at church this week testing out audio cameras, Worship Extreme, and ATEM. Finally got audio and video to Pastor from Worship Extreme, but he also heard audio from all the cameras. Oops. Hey, it's a process, man. We it's times. I think I did a video the other day, what I was doing for a review. I went through the whole thing, and even at where I'm at, the audio, my mic was off. So I got to redo that all over again. Streets of Destiny. Is encoding before, during, or after in OBS? I see encoding error on OBS. Please explain encoding. Okay, encoding is just transferring your video and audio or whatever is going into OBS into the ones and zeros that are they can be sent to whatever RTMP receiver you're connected to. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, whatever like that. So that is a very intense process. So if your system is not fast enough, it's going to tank, because it's also running the software to do that as well too. So if I minimize this real quick, let me go to my task manager, and number 3. So I come over here. Here is my CPU. This is a Ryzen 9 3900X. These are all the cores in that processor. So this system is fast enough that if I was live streaming, it would not, I don't need the GPU to do it, because I have more than enough cores that even if I was just running my computer, it's not going to tank anything. Most systems I'm seeing people use only have 2 cores, and Windows is maxing out when you try to do anything with that. And when you start encoding, it's like it's doing math if you're doing 60 frames a second, it's calculating that and compressing that video and audio 60 times per second. It's taxing on your system. That's the encoding process. And that's before it goes up to whatever platform that you're using. So you have to be mindful of that. Now, the benefit is that you can also use your GPU that normally is crunching numbers like that anyway for video games, 60 frames a second. That's why it's a good handoff to let OBS or your streaming platform of choice leverage the hardware to do that. So that's why if it was if it was affordable, even if you can get like a GTX 1050 or maybe even a RX 550, those are still around what a RX 550 is, like around like $150 to $300. That is more than enough to handle encoding, because that's its task. It's processing triangles and numbers and crunching all that stuff. And that's what the encoding is. All your encoding is before it sends anything. You're encoding it to send to whatever your platform of choice is. So hopefully that helps. Now, what page did I leave off on? All right, so we're page 2. Back to Mark. So we have a projector screen in the center of the church, putting up a large TV on either side of the sanctuary. We want to run video feed and graphics to virtual stream and center screen, but run presentation software to the 2 TVs and virtual stream too. What software products do you recommend for this setup? All right. So we want to run video feed and graphics to virtual stream and center screen. But then for the sides, you only want to have the presentation software to the 2 screens and virtual stream too. Okay, so what you would do is both of the TVs, since they're going to be the same thing, you can run them individually to each TV, a line to each one, or you can just run one line and then split it once you get to the TV, since they're going to have the exact same thing. That you could put, depending on your your presentation software. If you're using Pro Presenter, you can use the mini monitor, the Blackmagic mini monitor, run it out from SDI out there, and then that will be nothing but the presentation there. And then in Pro Presenter, you can also make another virtual feed that can go directly to your streaming software, so you can layer that into a lower third or something like that, similar to what we did at Spring Creek. But then for the main center TV, you could have another out from your presentation software. Well, no, that would let that run into your switcher and let the switcher do another output to your center TV. That's what I would think from that. But I need some more specifics, like what streaming software are you using, OBS, vMix, because that can make it easier or worse. It depends on which one. And then also what presentation software you're using, so I can get a better answer for that. I'm excited about it too. It's a lot of logistics but what's the old statement by Martin Luther King? I'm paraphrasing that life really isn't exciting until you align yourself with something that you have no idea how it can be done, and you can't do it yourself. That's what I feel about this conference. There's so many times when I was planning this thing, I'm sitting here thinking, how can I do it? How can I, me? But every time I kept thinking about me, I wasn't capable of doing it. And then to have great people like Francisco, Mark, Josh, Mike, all these people, Otis, Chuck, all these people come out the woodwork to help. That's when I know that it was like, I know this is God ordained, because if I could do it myself, it ain't God involved. When I'm sitting here like there's no way I can do it myself, that's when it gets really exciting. So And I ain't trying to get all preachy on y'all today. That's just really how I feel. Let's see. Did I understand that the main reason you use vMix over OBS is because of the limitations of OBS? You were great at the summit. Thank you. Honestly, I'm using vMix because a bunch of subscribers asked me a whole bunch of questions about vMix, and I wasn't familiar with it. So I went cold turkey and just forced myself to use vMix so that I can get a better understanding of it. That's the main reason. And then I use vMix still because it makes it easier to bring comments and stuff like this up. So that's why. We were still going to switch over to Wirecast too once we hit a certain level, because honestly what's happening with the Patreon, I don't mind telling y'all, the Patreon fundage that's being stacked for whatever this is going to cost to run the conference. So in full transparency, that's what everything is going towards. Awesome. We got some other people in PA. Cool. Y'all talk about AJ, come on with the word. Hey, man, we got to be real. That was my whole thing. My podcast was called Everyday Christian, and I really need to get back to it. But as y'all see, I'm busy. It was just meant, my whole thing is from a media ministry standpoint. And you know what? Since I'm in this vein, let me just go ahead and say it right now. My question to y'all. You ever heard those, let me preface this. You ever heard all those people that may be in church that say, I don't understand why the people in the time they were walking around with Jesus, they would see all these miracles. How come they doubted? There are miracles happening now every single day, and we still have the same doubt of those same people. There are Red Seas being split right in front of us, and we still don't notice it. COVID is a perfect example. How many, even though we have a bunch of y'all on this stream, there are still ministries that I deal with and come across that they think that this live streaming stuff is a fad. We don't need to focus on that. We need to get back to this and back to what church is, and church is actually inside the building and all this other gobbledygook and all this other stuff like that. But let me bring something to everybody's attention who, if you ever had any thought like that, or if you heard anybody have a thought like that, I'm gonna give you one simple scripture that will reference that. And where is it at? Yeah, there it goes. It is, and how can I bring this up so y'all can see? Hold on, let me put this on my other screen here, hopefully. And I mean, this is, like I said, I don't hide the fact I have a purpose for why I do the stuff that I do. So I'm not just talking about how to get this and that and make your screen looks like this and all this other stuff. That's not my purpose. So this is one scripture for all those people who still think that, oh, we don't need to do all this stuff. Let's cut over here. And it says Matthew 28:19. I'm just going to start with the first word, go. I'm just going to leave it right there. The scripture says, go. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Go. It doesn't mean stay. It doesn't mean stay inside your comfortable building and not go nowhere. It says go. Why do you think it says it's called Let's Go Live? I'll leave that alone. Anyway, that's where I stand with that. So for the people who are still saying, I don't understand, there are miracles happening right here, right in front of people's eyes, and they're still doubters because they don't see it. So anyway, I think that's enough for that. So we getting some extra stuff. I guess I'm feeling some type of way today. All right, we got a bunch of comments that I may have missed. Creative for fun. You saw my install and it made it look so easy. That's why you tried it. Hey, it is easy. You just got to keep telling yourself, even if it's difficult, keep telling yourself it's easy. Because if you keep telling yourself you're difficult, you're going to psych yourself out. What this says, let the weak say I'm strong. Let the poor say I'm rich. Let the people who can't install it say I can install it. There you go. Daniel. You've been pulling these scriptures. I'm happy to know you're a student of the word. Hey, man, you got to. I'm more of, just like I was in college, I would stop my professors and say, can you give me a real life example of how I can use this? That's the same stance I was at church. I'm not about just reading the Bible, just the fact of reading it. I want to know, how can I apply what's been written that's supposed to be true? How can I apply it into my life? That is the reason why when I talk about stuff for me, I ain't trying to convince nobody of nothing. I'm just telling you how my experience is. I tried it and it's worked. So I think I'm going to keep doing it. So I just decided to apply it in areas that some people were afraid to do. And he showed himself to not be a man that he should lie. He's provided all this. He's done all this. He's opened all the doors. So that's why I'm thankful for that. Let's see. Would you help design and install a studio for a ministry? Yes, if they asked. Sure. I would love to do that. Actually, I want to actually do something like that in my church. Rent out a room for my business and use that there. And build a studio. So I build a studio at the church for the church, but during the week I would use it, something like that. Curtis Cooks here. Is there a way to stream lyrics from OBS so that I'll be able to use OBS scenes lower third and other functions? Maybe I'm missing something. Is it lyrics? Or do you mean lyrics? I don't want to assume. Let me know which one it is. Now that would be interesting, but I think that would be cool. And actually, I remember it was a Christian comedian made a joke about this, and this was like 4 years before COVID. And I think it's kind of like, I don't think that set well. Because it was meant to be a joke that you need to be in church. But when COVID hit, it's like what was being made fun of is what we were all forced to do. Now, I don't know about putting on a whole VR headset and doing that. I don't know about that one. That would be cool, but I don't know. And I'm just thinking from a point of entry. Do you know, for us tech people, how much of a media ministry, how much would y'all love to start getting calls from Mother Mary? I'm saying Mary because that's my mom's name. Mother Mary, she's having a problem connecting to the virtual service, and she can't get her headphone and her headset and the VR and all this. Man, do you understand how much of a pain that would be from a media ministry standpoint? So from a tech side, I'm not excited about that, but from a concept, it might be cool. Back to Albert. It is easy to use ATEM to take a single camera and create 3 views. I want to use the one camera to create 4 views of the pulpit and the altar, and use ATEM controller to switch virtual camera. I would need to think about that. Because depending on, unless you have a Blackmagic camera, you really can't adjust the zoom for any other camera. If you want to do everything inside of the controls, like I have my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera that can adjust that. If I had an appropriate lens, I can control everything from there. I would have to think about that. So some of y'all are like in the comments, I don't think evangelizing on Mars is a bit of a lunch. Hey. Oh, we got the names now. Space Fellowship Church of Mars. Dylan was talking about autonomous church bus. Sounds great. We need that. Hey, that would be awesome. And then the church van comes back and charges up, so you don't have to fill it with gas. You don't have to worry about catalytic converters for people stealing from them like crazy. I thought that was only here in Virginia. I went to California. The same thing happened to a church out there. Like, come on, folks. Y'all stealing catalytic converters and melting down copper or whatever. But then you got to think with vehicle to grid. If the power goes out, the vans can power the church. Like did y'all see the release, Ford's information? I don't like Ford, but they showed their F-150 Lightning, how you can hook it up. And if you lose power, the truck can power your house for up from 3 to 10 days. That's serious. Just imagine that for your church. You got 3 church vans, and it's like, man, we don't even need power no more. We got solar. We got this. That's cool. Josh got one. E-Missionary for me, church in the generation of Lord and Savior Jesus Christ International Space United LLC. Oh, going into Josh, let's start up some memes, shall we? All right, so we got our first one here from Mr. Josh here, and this is so true. When someone deletes old worship slides from your presentation computer or songs that haven't been sang in over 10 years. No, the sacred text. Oh man, I've seen that one as well too. All right, and we go to our second one here. What happens when the church live stream goes down for 1 second? The tech team. So true. Thank you there, Josh. Really appreciate them. You're always coming with the lulls. All right, what else we got out here? Let me see. I'm on the wrong page. Okay, page 3, page 2. Chuck, come on now. Says, I think when you hit 40,000, you should do the chicken dance live on YouTube. Nah, because I don't want that to live out forever. No. we gonna stay away from that one. Now you know we might I used to be able to do a back handspring, but that was when I was about like 50 pounds lighter. I might even attempt to do that. I don't know. We hit 50,000 subscribers. Oh, but I'm glad y'all mentioned that, because at 50,000 subscribers, don't forget we have our PTZ Optics is sponsoring a PTZ camera giveaway at 50,000 subscribers. Make sure you register for that. And I know this is kind of far out compared to what we normally would do, but hey, we like to shoot for the stars, and we're going to hit 40,000, and we're making our way right on through to 50. And then I'll tell you like this, when we hit 100,000, Chuck, I might have to do the chicken dance for that one. So I'm excited about that. Everybody talk about excited about the chicken dance. We'll see. John just got here. Nice job on the worship summit. Thank you. I purchased a Zoom pass for the first time since I knew you were one of the speakers. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm looking at the email. I have not gotten anything on that at all. So I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. All right. Josh said, make sure I do it, but with the music too. Judah Christian is saying, every business needs policy, procedures, training, work plan, operation plans, and governance that is clearly in writing with global understanding among the team. Not I told you. Hey, completely agree. Completely agree. Creative for fun. It's saying Mars Missionary Ministry. Let's go. Completely agree. I need a dummy battery for the Panasonic FZ300. Do you recommend one other than the Panasonic brand? Honestly, when it comes to stuff like that with power, unless you're doing some kind of like one-off batteries, kind of like I have with these for my ZV-1, which don't last as long, but they do get me by. I would say stick with the brand with that, because I really don't know off the top of my head. I would just stick with those if it's made specifically for that camera. Streets of Destiny's question is hardware better than software to encode? Yes and no. Before the ATEM Mini, I was completely against hardware encoders because when Facebook made a change to secure RTMP, it knocked a whole lot of people out because you had to wait for the manufacturer to do an update to the hardware to cover it. Software, somebody was quickly able to change that, and then it was just done. That was one of the issues that I have with hardware encoding. They have their strengths. Software is more flexible. Hardware is, like with the ATEM, you don't have to have a very serious computer to give you good speed. Like we were talking about, people are trying to live stream on inadequate hardware to do it. When you get a hardware encoder, it's been designed to handle whatever you throw at it. So it makes the cost of entry easier. But if they decided to change something, you're at the discretion of the people who make it to use it, because it might be offline until they do an update. So I wouldn't say one is better than the other. It just has unique situations. Not media related, but gaming, PC or PlayStation. I have both. I leaned more towards PlayStation than PC, but right now with Epic Game Store, I download free games all the time. Like I just bought Horizon Zero Dawn and Days Gone for my PC, even though I have it on the PlayStation. I game all the time, but not as much as I used to, especially with a lot of multiplayer games. I don't do first-person shooters anymore, just because my daughter's always around. I don't want her to see that stuff. And then online, I just don't have the time to sit down. I just choose to put my time into something else instead of gaming. And plus, I can't pause the multiplayer. But I would say both. I do have Resident Evil Village that I bought, and I just got a PlayStation 5. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. I really got that for me to relax, because that's what I used to do to relax. So I have a lot of people who have told me, thank you for what you're doing, AJ, but you need to get some time to yourself. So I decided to do it for that purpose. It was either that or pay for a trip to Hawaii. But when I go to Hawaii, because of COVID, I would have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks, so I wouldn't be able to do anything. So we'll see. Hello. We're better together. Dylan, how many separate displays can you have in ProPresenter, and how easily can I show images and videos on them? In ProPresenter, I think it's as many as I think there is a theoretical limit, but technically with the new PP7, you can make as many as you want, to be quite honest. And they're pretty straightforward to do. Donald, SongShow Plus 9.1 has multiple screens built into the software, 7 different screens which can direct what goes where. Awesome. I have a unpublished private live stream question. Okay, fire away. The recent update, no, I have not, because we did not renew, because now ProPresenter is now asking you to pay a yearly subscription to get more updates, and we're out of it. So no, I haven't updated since our stuff ended maybe 4 months ago. So any recent update, no, we don't have. I ain't messing with y'all. Pastor Alicia. Hello, everyone. Finally, a break at work. I know this has been asked. What is the best camera for great pictures and live streaming? Well, it depends. Do you want something that's portable? Do you want something that's stationary? I like the ZV-1 that I have here. I was actually looking at getting a Lumix G7, a good camera. 4K for streaming, taking pictures and stuff like that. It all depends. What's the purpose of the camera, and how is it going to be stationary? Is it going to be a mobile one? Something like that. Need some more info for that. Currently expecting a strange instance of my test live stream. When it's shared, it's not allowing people to view it, but I see it on my end. Yeah, if it's private, you're the only one who's going to be able to see it. Unlisted, they'll only be able to see it if you share it. So that's by design. It's supposed to be that way. Thanks, Josh. I'm actually waiting to hear back. Somebody's supposed to get me a license with Wirecast. So we'll see. So for those people saying, AJ, you could have just saved up the money to buy Wirecast. Yes, but someone told me I could get a license from a sponsor, so I'm kind of waiting on that. And anyway, the money for Patreon is helping out build this stuff out, so that'll be good. Back to Mark. Got a new church that came with some equipment, currently using OBS, but expanding to additional equipment. We'll be purchasing a new presentation software and additional cams, but figuring out setup. Okay, Mark, yeah, just let me know. All right, we're page number 1. Dylan is saying, my ministry is one of those bit focused on live stream. I'm praying for a change in mindset. Understood. Yeah, it's a lot that are like that. I'm listening to you speak. Same thing happened at Worship Summit. When you speak, I can hear like a few steps when you do. Yeah, like, oh, that's those people upstairs stomping like crazy. Like, I don't know. It's like somebody's trying to have a rave upstairs or something like that. Yeah, that's true. But you got to think, people thought Noah was crazy when he was building the boat because it's never rained. So people are stuck in the past. Like I said, even if stuff is going on around, they choose not to see. Daniel was like, man, got the B3 ready. Come on and stretch it out. Hey, like I said, I always play at any of them. I always try and get on the piano or the organ if I go to any other church. That was the same way in California. I was hurt so bad. I recorded that service. They were doing some music. Man, I wanted to get up there and sing or play so bad. And I pulled the praise team leader aside. I said, man, y'all were doing good, but y'all were hurting me, man. I wanted to get up. He was like, you should have came up. I was like, I don't know. I want to, I don't want to intrude, but at the same time, man, it's like, I don't know. I'm just not the type of person that can just sit in the pew. Ever since I've been in church, I've always served in some way, shape, or form. So me just sitting in a pew does not seem natural. So if anybody knows, that means, well, I already know I'm a Levite. So there you go. Let's see. Let's see, created for fun. At over 60 years old, climbing ladders and pulling cables isn't something I think I'd be doing, desperately seeking the younger generation's help. Hey, totally understand. But, I mean, I think that's encouraging to show that the people, it's an excuse remover. So they're like, I don't know if I could do that. Well, they're doing it. What's your excuse? That's like I always talk about Josh. Everybody's like, we can't get young people involved. Josh is the youngest person on this on the stream right now, that I assume. So what's the excuse? We have other people who are older. So that's why the For Me group, the Facebook group, is an excuse remover. When people are saying, all I have is my phone, we got people who are still streaming with their phone. I only have one person. We got one person that does it. We have some people who are like, well, I'm the pastor. I'm the only one who does this. We got people in the group that do that as well, too. We have every shade and situation inside the group. That makes it awesome. So we can always lean on each other to get encouragement and direction, no matter what your situation is. We talk about equipment, all that stuff as well too. Michael Graham. I'm helping a church set up their live stream. Due to budget constraints, they purchased the ATEM Mini and not the Pro. How can I set up a monitor preview camera before going live. Unfortunately, the Mini cannot do that. You would need to do something kind of like where, like Ori has something. It's a 4x4 HDMI matrix, so you would have to run a split into that as well as into the ATEM, and it would be a separate device that's needed. But honestly, at adding an additional $200 to get the ATEM Mini Pro would probably be the easier thing, because I think that matrix is at least $150, and then once you get the cables and splitters, you're gonna pay the difference of what the ATEM Mini Pro would have been. That's the only thing how you could do that, unfortunately. I did not know that. I'm gonna have to look into that. So let me write that down here in my stuff as well too. I'm gonna need to look into that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this is what we're using at my home church is Pro Presenter 7. Daniel. Yes, the F-150 Lightning. I told my wife, thank you in advance for my anniversary gift. Man, just get the, well, I was going to say get the Cybertruck, but that is an acquired taste. I like Tesla, but that truck, even to me, I'm kind of like, I don't know. That's a little out there for me. I like the functionality, the look. I don't know. See, this is why I don't like the internet sometimes. AJ Chicken Dance will truly become a meme, and then we got Chuck saying, Chicken Dance at 100,000, it's a deal, and we have it on video. See, my escape out of that is I can't play the Chicken Dance song because I don't have the rights, and I don't own the rights to the music, so that's why I can't play it. Yay, we're out of it. You mentioned being a little heavier. Does anybody do exercise bike where you travel? Actually, there's a trail right over here. I need to get a bike. I really want to get one. The only thing is, it's like I moved into a new apartment, and now if I could show how all my stuff is, you would see how little space I actually have now. But yeah. Yeah, my daughter would love to do something like that, so we might do that as well. Thank y'all all again for everyone who saw me and Monty on the Worship Summit. Really appreciate it. Thank y'all for your support, and honestly, thanks PTZ Optics for the invite. Really appreciate it. Did I mention where we can get the AJ the CEO button? Nah, I don't think I mentioned that one. Nordic track. See, Pastor Alicia. I just booked my favorite soloist. I think she's talking about my sister. Blah. Nah, let me stop. Oh, you're talking about, it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. That is a fan that I have on the floor blowing up, so it's probably hitting the mic. It's just hot with all these lights and stuff like this in front of me. Mr. Clarence, do you know if OBS 27 has been pulled back from availability? No, I think it's still there. I mean, I have it on my system right here. I was playing around with it when I got a chance, and I don't get any new updates. I have I have release candidate 4. That's what I'm running, and I just tried to update it, and it's still there. So no, I don't believe so, unless it's getting ready to go official. But that I don't know. Mark, any new thoughts on getting a multi-viewing program out from the ATEM Mini Pro? Yeah, thank you. Honestly, the easiest way to do that is with the streaming bridge, to be quite honest. That's the easiest way. Because if you're using the HDMI out for your multi-view, but you also want to do something else, the easiest thing is to stream to that. That's what I think will work to give you that functionality. Daniel was talking about one Sunday, I'm going to preach, play, sing, and run media ministry to prove a point to the church that I need help. Man, you're going to need to take a vacation once you're done with that. See, Josh. See, somebody stomping upstairs. Josh talking about the chicken dance song recorded on a church piano. I don't know. I still get copyright struck for silly stuff. We're musicians and techs. We can create the chicken dance music. See, yeah, man, y'all going too much. See, finding a bike is like almost finding a graphics card. Yeah, it really is. That was crazy. Like, you can't find a bike nowhere. I mean, they do have some bikes at Target, but it's like, I'm not trying to ride a pink LOL bike like for a 12-year-old. No, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't mind getting an e-bike, but those things are like serious. Like, they're like $4,000. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that it was like that. Donald, thank you so much. I appreciate it. See, everybody's talking about a deal is a deal. Okay, so let me write this down. 100K subs, the chicken dance. Sweet Lord. Wasn't able to watch Worst of Summer live when your presentation, was able to watch later. Thank you. Honestly, to be quite honest, I felt bad because I was looking at everybody else's. I was like, man, my stuff is nowhere like that. But it's the same way. It's like I had to tell myself I'm not competing with nobody else. If, whatever message I talk about will reach whoever it needs to. And, I think more importantly, just like anybody else, we can talk about tech all day long. But I think the main thing is a lot of people feel that because they don't have this, they can't do, which is just a reason to justify an excuse of not doing something. That's what I personally feel. Not trying to be mean, just being honest. Elohim Life Transformation Ministries is saying, I stream to YouTube and Facebook, but Facebook stream gets cut off while streaming. Yeah, they've been doing that recently. Ours did the same thing. I don't know. T-Pocket. Yeah, I did. I saw your comment. I don't always bring up everybody's comments on here because I have a bunch on here. So if I could show y'all what I actually look at, you're going to see it go on to infinity here for a second. This is actually how I'm doing my stuff here. So, I'm seeing the chat here and I'm checking off who's popping up. So I'll click on here. I do send, and then that brings it up to the screen. That's what y'all can see. Here are my notes that I told you that I was writing up. So I got y'all. Pastor Alicia, yes, there is a Zoom call this Sunday. Yeah, we had about 15 minutes to go. So, but see, I think that's the beauty of when we're doing the missionary conference. We're gonna give each person an hour to do what they're doing, and it's going to be in a closed session. So everybody's there is going to be for that purpose. So I think that's going to be good. But again, this is our first run, so we're going to learn from it and grow. Because again, the intention is the E-Missionary Conference to be an annual thing, and then a biannual thing, 2 times a year, and then we go to each continent and try and do something as well too. That's the vision for it. All right, and then back to Josh for the Cranes camera suggestion. Looking for something with zoom capabilities. Well, then, depending on the camera, you can get something that has length control. Kind of the Canon, some of the Sonys can do that, or any of them that you can do a breakout. So if you're trying to get some big cameras like the Blackmagic, you can do a breakout cable so you can control it and do all that stuff as well. So that will work. I think this is going to be our last one here. Your presentation at Worship Summit was much more encouraging. In Europe, it often sounds like that the big money is just pocket money. In U.S., using what's available is good. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that helps. Josh, no tech stuff today. Really didn't notice anything major coming out. So no, nothing for that. What's the best controller for the SMT AVs? Honestly, I still stick with the Huddle Cam, but they do have some knockoff brands that look exactly the same, and they're maybe like $100 off. But I did notice with the AV cams that I'm using, I can't control all of the menu options from the Huddle Cam with the AV cams remote. I don't know what that's all about. I can use it with the remote control, but not with the PTZ controller. So I don't know. But I've only used the Huddle Cams. That's what I like. The Sony ones are nice, but they're like 4 times the price of the Huddle Cam. They're like $1,700. Nah, I think that's overkill for that. Pastor Alicia, you said you can't attend the conference. You're supposed to be teaching. How are you not going to be there and you're supposed to be teaching a class? We got 1,000 people signed up for your class. See, now I got to let them know that you backed out, and I got to refund them all their money because you are not going to be there. But that's cool. Let me know. Let me know. And we'll see if we can sponsor some people who want to come. So thank you so much for that. Chuck, see, there's my exit out. Didn't realize what I started when I made a joke about the chicken dance. Sorry. Nah, it's cool, folks. Thank y'all so much, everybody. I'm only cutting this short because I could go longer, but we got a meeting with this company here to get this e-missionary conference set up, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully, I left this view up so you can see everything I'm doing. That is vMix Social right here that's pulling up all y'all's comments and stuff like that. I think I have a bunch of Ubiquity stuff delivered that I need to go take downstairs and bring back up here. But thank y'all so much. Really appreciate it. For my worst, I want to give a big shout out to my patrons. We got some new patrons. Thank you so much. Lance Bryant, thank you so much for all the patrons. There's a bunch of y'all who are in the group who are actually doing that. Pastor Alicia, Mr. Clarence, Brian, a bunch of y'all, Mike. Thank y'all so much for y'all continued support. I really, really, really appreciate it. And you too can become a patron by using patreon.com/AJaytheCEO. And you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. Or if you go up to the e-missionary level of $30 a month, you get a free consultation with me every month for an hour. And we can talk about anything you want to, from media ministry stuff, or you just want to chat. And then thankfully now we're bouncing around to other places. So you never know. I might be in your city. Like I said, Wednesday through Sunday, I'm going to be in the San Francisco, San Jose, Sacramento, Oakland, Livermore area, somewhere that's within about an hour's drive. I'm going to be there for about 4 days. I'm heading back Sunday morning because I need to be back for my class that I teach on Monday. What else? Oh, yeah. And if you're a YouTube member, thank you so much as well. We got some new ones there, multimedia, and we also got Peter Shepard. Thank you for your continued support as well. And if you are interested in becoming a YouTube member, you just got to click the join button below the video here. And what we always say, no matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. And if no one has ever told you, I want to thank you so much for what you are doing for your local media ministry, your city, state. And remember what the word says. It says, go and make disciples of men and women. Go. Meaning that you don't sit on your rusty dusty. You need to go out and do some stuff. And by you following my video and any other videos out there, you're training and learning how to better minister and using technology to do that. Thank you so much. If no one's ever told you, thank you for the dedication of what you're doing. I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon. If you're having service tomorrow, I hope you have a wonderful one. If you have service Sunday, I hope you have a wonderful one. If you have service any time of the week, I hope you have a wonderful one. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. That way you don't miss out on any new videos that we got. We got a couple of reviews, a couple of installs, and then we got another trip and install in California that's coming up. So anyway, thank you so much, folks. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see y'all on the next video. Later.